Welcome, champions, to another update to Idle Champions that involves a mechanic that's tied to increasing the power of your champions that doesn't have to do with them directly. We've received an update to the game that introduces a new, first of an intended recurring mechanic, the Emergence. I'm not going to lie, this one's pretty simple. In fact, I even wondered if I should make a video on it, because there is so little to talk about. But it's important enough to focus on while it's here that I felt it best that I do. And I have some personal opinions about its implementation. So, what even is this event? Well, this time around, we're being assailed by the Red Wizards of Thay, where in any free play, you will encounter these Red Wizards in addition to any enemy that you would normally find. You can also specifically hunt them down in some variants in the Tomb of Annihilation, where they naturally spawn. When you kill the Emergence-specific enemy type, they will drop corrupted gems, which will also be obtained by daily quests and variants. The variants are just becoming a part of the game as any normal variant would, 2 variants for 5 different campaigns. You use these corrupted gems in a new shop to purchase a variety of rewards, most notably the new mechanic being introduced to the game, Marvelous Pigments. There is only one pigment type available with this Emergence, and that is the Marvelous Support Pigment, which is used to upgrade any epic equipment you have on a support champion, to grant that gear a 200% global damage increase. Think of it as a mini legendary on top of all of the other effects that gear might have. There will be more pigment effects in the future, designed for other roles like tanks and health, DPS and self-DPS increases at a higher rate than the global DPS, that kind of thing. And that's honestly it, mechanically speaking. Kill Red Wizards, do the dailies, do the variants, get your gems, and claim your rewards. Put what pigments you can get on your most commonly used supports to give them a bit of a boost, and potentially gather other rewards that are part of the shop besides just the pigments, which includes feats, a golden epic for Myria, and skins. But this is where the problem arises. What problem is that? The cap on collecting corrupted gems. As it stands, you can get 18,000 gems from killing Red Wizards, another 18,000 for completing the daily quests, and 25,000 from the variants. That means a total of 61,000 gems available during this Emergence event. And by the way, the Red Wizard Emergence lasts until April 7th. At that point, you will no longer be able to collect corrupted gems. The variants will remain available for those who have yet to complete them, however, and the shop will also remain for you to be able to purchase the rewards until the next Emergence, which is scheduled to start on May 24th. Now, the most important item here is the pigments, and there are 10 obtainable, and they cost 7,000 gems each. That means with our full event allotment of corrupted gems, again 61,000, we can't even purchase all of the pigments, let alone any of the extra rewards. You can, however, purchase the corrupted gems with real money, which I don't inherently have issue with, though it does feel a bit gross. But what I do start taking issue with is when we can't even earn the total core mechanic being introduced to the game without spending money. The feats will come to the gem shop after Emergence at some point. I can deal with skins and a golden epic being behind a paywall, as that is where they usually draw the line with their monetization. That's what we've come to expect as players. To not even be able to earn all available pigments through free-to-play, however, that's not. I'll remind people that I'm personally a defender of the Season Pass. I think the way seasons are structured and the rewards they choose to put behind the paywall, while maybe not ideal, I believe to be fair. And let's go ahead and look at them side by side, Emergence versus Seasons. Seasons are a huge event with tons of rewards and quests tied to them, dailies and weeklies, feats, skins, the whole shebang. You can earn plenty of fulfilling rewards as a free-to-play player, and nothing that is an important in-game mechanic is locked behind a paywall. Some could argue that Season 1's core could potentially be considered that. But Season 3 has remedied that sentiment with the unaffiliated core being available to everyone. Now let's consider the pay costs of Seasons. $10 for the pass. Just looking through the potential rewards, you can see the kind of bang for your buck you're getting there. Now let's take a look at how much these corrupted gems cost. Roughly 5 USD per 10,000 gems. So not including random purchases like repeatable chests, so just feats, golden epic, and pigments, that total would be 140,000. And let's say you get the cap of in-game obtainable gems, we'll take that 61,000 off for a remaining 79,000. There isn't even a purchasable option to get that amount. You're basically left with overflowing with 120,000 for 50 USD, or buying the 44,000 twice for a total of 40 USD. And this is for an in-game event tied to a new important in-game mechanic. Now yes, it would only take one purchase of 5 USD to get that last pigment, but still. And again, if we're just talking skins and golden epics, that's a whole different story. But to lock the actual new in-game mechanic they've introduced just doesn't feel right. It's not the precedence they've set for how they handle things, and I'm not a fan. Why they didn't make pigments 6,000 gems, so to purchase all 10 would take 60,000 of the attainable 61,000, and then you're left wondering, should I buy more to support them and get that skin or golden epic? Instead, you're left with the feeling of, wow, they locked my last pigment behind a paywall. That sucks. Now, I'm not telling you what you should do with your money. That's not a hill I die on. Spend what you want and get what you want. That being said, while I do purchase the season pass to support them, I'm not going to purchase any gems. This is not a foundation for a positive influence on the game whatsoever, in my opinion. Emergence feels rushed, and it leaves a bit of a stanky stain on free-to-play players in a negative way. But don't get me wrong, you should still do everything you can while Emergence is up. Get those pigments and slap them on your most used supports and increase your formation's damage. It might feel like I'm being hard on this, but there's a clear line of difference for me. The season pass is balanced and fairly priced within reasonable argument. This is designed to pressure and bilk players. I personally don't want this style of monetization in this game, so I will absolutely speak against it in my own videos. It's actually why I defended the Season 1 pass the first time around, and many people hated that I sided with it. It's because they could have done stuff like this, but they didn't. I felt like they were taking a step in the right direction, and I feel like this is a step backward. It's about how you treat your players, and this feels out of touch and just not normal for how the company handles in-game events. Don't lock your players out of the last of a new in-game mechanic tied to an in-game event and dangle the price of more gems in their face. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up my ranting, get to killing those goddamn red wizards, and roll in what pigments you can, you dirty little piggies. This might feel short for how long I've been away, but depression, anxiety, and insomnia can be a hell of a thing. And I'm working on a bunch of other stuff in the background, and hopefully releasing soon. TM. That might be a bit different, so we'll have to see what you all think about that. No matter what's thrown your way, always remember, have a hell of a time out there, champions.